Hans Niemann versus Daniel Dubov. Game 5, Blitz match in Moscow, May 27, 2025. Hans Niemann and Daniel Dubov are battling it out in an intense 18-game Blitz match in Moscow. This isn't just any match, it's a rematch. After a heated first match where Daniel Dubov came out on top, Hans Niemann made headlines by agreeing to take a polygraph test. But with one condition: he would answer only one question. That question, whether he had ever cheated in chess. According to Niemann, he passed, a moment he claimed put the controversy to rest once and for all. Now the rematch is on. With all the drama off the board, let's get into Game 5 of Day 1. And trust me, it's anything but boring. Dubov opens with d4. Niemann plays knight f6. And after several book moves, Dubov plays g3, signaling the Catalan opening. Usually solid and positional, but not this time. Already we see something spicy. Bishop b4 check from Niemann. It's not one of the top 3 responses in this position. And that's your first clue, this game will be wild. Dubov blocks the check with knight bd2. Niemann castles, and Dubov develops his signature Catalan bishop to bishop g2. Hans looks to solve the eternal light square bishop problem. Dubov castles, and Hans counters the g2 bishop with bishop b7. Now the knights come to life. Dubov plants one on e5, an aggressive central square, and brings the other knight into play, clearing the diagonal for his dark square bishop. Hans responds with knight d7, then bishop b4 from Dubov, more development. Niemann repositions his bishop from b4 to a more useful diagonal, a smart, quiet move. Dubov places a rook on the semi-open c-file, and then Hans grabs the pawn. Dubov recaptures with the rook, and Niemann immediately targets it with bishop d5. The rook drops back to c1, and Niemann forms a powerful queen-bishop battery along the long diagonal. Dubov activates his queen, eyeing knight d7, but Hans shuts that down with b5, forcing a queen to retreat. h6 from Hans, creating a luft, a breathing square for the king, while Dubov improves his position with rook e1. Then Niemann launches a direct attack on Dubov's queen with bishop e4. The response? Queen d2, and it's tricky. Why? Because after knight b6 Niemann played, Dubov plays the shocking sacrifice. Bishop takes h6. Boom! He is tearing open the king side. Hans recaptures. Dubov follows up, and Hans scrambles to defend with knight d5. Now comes queen check, then another check, and then knight g4 from Dubov. But hold on, the engine doesn't like it. In fact, Stockfish suggests a combination involving queen g5 check and knight sack on d7, queen h4 check, and eventually queen takes e4. That's just too wild. Back in the actual game, we get an exchange on g4, and Niemann's light square bishop jumps into the defense. Knight h4, as Dubov keeps the pressure, but Hans calmly plays queen b6. Now, usually, you don't want to exchange pieces when attacking and down material. But Dubov captures on g6, then e6. Now he has 3 pawns for the sacrificed bishop. But just when you think things are settling, bishop takes g3 from Niemann. Is it brilliant or a blunder? Well, if white takes the bishop, they lose their queen. And if they take the queen, black gets an intermezzo check and takes back the queen. So brilliant? Not so fast. Dubov finds queen d7 check. Hans blocks with rook f7, and now comes the brilliant queen sacrifice. Queen takes f7 check, and after king takes f7, bishop takes d5, another check, king g7. Now here's the turning point. Dubov captures the bishop, but misses the chance to take the rook, which would have left him totally winning. Instead, after rook d8, Dubov plays the losing move, rook c6. Why is it bad? Hans plays the quiet killer, queen a5. And suddenly both the rook and the bishop are under attack with no good defense. Dubov plays b4, delaying the inevitable. Hans captures with queen takes b4, then after rook takes c7 check and king h6, Dubov doubles his rooks. But Hans just takes the bishop, and now he is up a queen versus a rook and 2 pawns, a huge advantage. Dubov keeps fighting, but against someone of Niemann's strength, the conversion is inevitable. Hans picks off a pawn, activates the king, trade rooks, and simplifies. The final instructive moment: Hans takes a pawn on e2, voluntarily pinning his own queen, but he knows he is winning. He sacrifices the queen for the rook and gobbles up Dubov's remaining pawns. Dubov resigns. Why? The endgame is hopeless. If it continued, king c3, king takes g4, king d3, and then king f3. Perfect opposition. And the white king can't stop the black pawn from queening. After king d2, Hans just plays king f2, and it's game over. This was just game 5 out of 9 from day 1. Dubov ended the day leading 5-4. But with the second half of the match coming today, anything can happen.